Good morning. Come on. I'm Chris. My group is my group is Find Your High Vibe. Dee's group is Turning Your Pain into Power. Bye, Max. So, let's see. Yesterday, what was I talking about? You're fine. You're not in it. Um, 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 um. Oh, so all the directions. Yeah. Okay. So, um, so I'm showing up every day. I'm here every day because I'm going to say something that's going to connect with somebody. I'm going to say something that someone needs to hear at some point. Good morning, Kelly. So, so I'm showing up and just talking about whatever comes to me because at some point you're going to hear something that you needed to hear. And okay, so yesterday, and I'm holding this very lightly. This is the definition of holding lightly. So when you want something in the LOA, law of attraction sense, you're supposed to put your desire out there and then hold it lightly. That means not feeling desperate, not holding on too tightly. So I think I do a really good job with that. Well, most of the time. So there was, after, let's see, gosh, after not passing the bar exam in California, I ended up working for a literary agent in La Jolla. Fun place, nice place. And that alone, that how that happened is a little bit crazy to me. And I remember after I got hired, I saw my resume sitting somewhere and my last name was circled, my maiden name. And I found out that my new boss, Margaret, it was the same last name her daughter had, like that was her first husband's name. And I thought that was pretty bizarre. And so that was before I had I said I wasn't doing that anymore. That was before I had an awakening. And that was before I woke up and realized the influences that had been at work in my life. And that office, I was surrounded by it in La Jolla. I started working with a woman, Donna, who introduced me to Reiki. I had never heard of Reiki before. Good morning, Sally. And she kind of told me what Reiki was. And it was so cute because you could tell how excited she was to talk about it. And she was just always full of energy. And when I picture her now, I just see her smiling and her face lit up. And good morning, Cindy. So I had Donna to talk to me about Reiki, even though I really didn't even know what it was. We were right down the street from the Chopra Center. And I was working with a woman, Indian, who I remember one day she hung out the window and she's like, Deepak Chopra just walked by. I'm like, okay, Deepak Chopra. And so I was working for a literary agent, and her big client at the time was Ken Blanchard, the 1 Minute Manager. Very conservative business, so it was very heavy on the conservative business stuff. But there was some spiritual stuff in there. And she often worked with a PR woman, Ariel Ford, whose sister was Debbie Ford, who wrote The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And Margaret would also, on occasion have like holistic people come into the office to talk about their ideas. Oh, and that was the first time I tried tapping, EFT, the tapping, blah, 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 blah. I completely accept myself. And I used it for the bar exam. But anyway, none of this was like getting through, right? Like you have to hear the right words. And the right person has to say the right words. And so you might be floating around Facebook or wherever's floating around Facebook, and that's how I've found people. You just kind of jive with them, and whatever they're saying, whatever their circumstance, their story, maybe it echoes your story. And so I just had to hear it from the right person, I guess. I mean, I was surrounded by it at McBride, and I was there for almost 4 years. And I didn't wake up. But then when we got to Idaho, and I mentioned this yesterday, I passed the bar, and I'm trying to practice, become an attorney finally, and the donut thing happened. And so it wasn't a life event, I think. For most people, that's what happens. It wasn't a life event. It was this book. And it's going to be backwards. The Answer. See this book, The Answer? And it says advanced reading copy. I don't know how I got this book. I was living in Idaho, and this was 2008, and I left McBride in 2001. And I don't even know if I was still in contact, Christmas cards maybe, but how did I get this book? I don't remember this book coming to my house. But I was home with toddlers and looking for something to do one day, and I picked it up and started reading it, and it actually talks about everything is energy, and Albert Einstein, everything is energy, and it didn't really get through still. I was kind of like, it was kind of, whoa, what is this? And I remember thinking, this is crazy. But then I got to the point talking about your business, your dream business. And I didn't want a dream business, but take a moment now to consider the following questions. What does success look like? What is it I love to do that lies at the heart of my dream business? What feelings do I want to experience? And I pulled out a notebook one day and I just started writing down all these ideas for a dream business. But I didn't want a business. And so, I don't know, 6 months later is when someone was telling me about Seattle, and something inside me told me I had to go to Seattle. I had to go to Seattle. And that's when I saw the donut machine. And then, a month later, I'm at farmers market selling donuts. And then that just took off. Well, it wasn't until a year later or something, I found that notebook and I opened it and I read those answers. And that's when it happened for me. That's when I was like, oh my God, I did this. Oh my God. And I immediately wrote an email to everybody I thought would want to hear about this, that I wrote down these answers and oh my God, I'm now living them. And it blew me away. And that's when I started reading more about law of attraction, and, it kind of grew from there. And I know Jeanette Ma, I just heard her say that words did it for her and words did it for me. Answering those questions, and that was my own validation that something else is happening. Like, this is beyond me. This is beyond me thinking, I don't know, creating this. But I still don't know how I got the book. So, Margaret and Donna, who sent me that book, and when did I don't know when it says copyright 2008. So, I don't know. And I know I have that notebook. I want to find the notebook again and look at that page. Although I did include it in this email that I sent to a bunch of people. So anyway, I'm going to keep showing up, and I'm just going to keep talking about my stuff and how I connect it all, because it's going to resonate with somebody, and someone's going to hear something one day that connects with them. And so, thanks for tuning in for another installment of that. And I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. And please like, share, comment, whatever, to help me get to those people so they can see that. Okay? Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow morning.